Tell me what's your point of view? What's your point of view? Tell me what's your point of view? It is your view, point of view, point of view. What's your point of view? It's time to hear from you. Welcome to Point of View. Hey everybody, thank you for tuning in to the Point of View Live. I'm here with my sister Quanisha Miller is in the house.
Hey y'all.
So sis, you first congratulations on your award.
Thank you.
So tell the people what award we're talking about.
I won the Missing Plugs People's Champ Award.
People's Champ. Dun, 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 dun. Yes. So everybody was like, yes, you know, when you got the award, you were out there, you're doing your thing, and the buzz was Tea Talk.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about Tea Talk.
So Tea Talk is a nonprofit organization which originally I created in Dallas, Texas. A lot of people don't know this. I'm a high school teacher, but I also have my master's in social work, and I was trying to figure out a way where I can have therapy sessions with girls without calling it therapy. Mm-hmm. And when I call my girls, I'd be like, girl, what's the tea? So I know that relates to our culture, so I was like, we're going to call it Tea Talk instead of Girl Talk. And so what we do is we meet with the girls and we have different sessions on friendships, relationships, communication. And then it just so happened that we did the tea party for young women, and I was like, well, this could be therapeutic too. As I was just trying to figure out a way, because in our community, people don't want to go to therapy. Therapy has been a thing now. More and more people are going. But it's like, where can we create a therapeutic space where people still get the same thing without the clinical stigma? So
that is amazing, because that is kind of our code word. Like, I want to know what's going on.
Right.
You say, give me the tea. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
So everybody kind of knows that. So, and high school teacher.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't know that?
No. Listen, high school ain't easy.
It's not. It's hard. And I work at an alternative school in North Philly.
Wow. Listen, kudos to you. Look, teachers, kudos to all the teachers out there. Teaching is not easy, let alone high school. Yeah. So are you able to use some of these Tea Talk moments within your class? So
I teach special education, but I work at an alternative school. So more than 50% of our kids receive special education services, but most of them qualify under emotional disturbance, which typically is those kids that have behavior issues. So right now I have one student, she's been in and out of placement since the age of 6. She's now 17. So in having them conversations with her, she told me, like, why you don't work at DHS? And I told her straight up, I said, they work too much, you know, and they don't make enough money. I said, but as your teacher, I can still have them conversations with her without actually being in a role as a social worker, and just talk to her like, hey, I know you want to do X, Y, and Z with your life, but this is stopping you from doing that. So I know I'm a teacher, but because of my role, and I have a lot of autonomy in my role, because it's an alternative school, I can be whatever they need me to be on any given day.
Awesome. We just gonna call you Miss T then, because you got teacher, you got therapy, you got Tea Talk, you got a whole bunch of T's that's beneficial to people. Yeah. So, with your background and your experience, what, in your opinion, would be some of the reasons why therapy is shunned upon?
Well, I think a lot of it is because I know when I was growing up, you know, your grandparents, they say just pray about it. You know, we're not going to go talk to nobody about it. And it's this idea that what happens in our house stays in our house. So I can't go talk to a therapist, because if I go tell my therapist X, Y, and Z happened, I'm not sure. I may end up in foster care. So it's this thing where we don't really trust those that are outside of our community that don't look like us. And even though there are many black women and black men that are therapists, when I try to like find my own therapist, when I'm trying to go through my insurance, all the people, none of them look like me. So when I went to therapyforblackgirls.com, if you want to find a therapist, I went there and I reached out to certain women, and they said, you know, we don't take insurance. It's private pay, $65 a session. And I'm like, $65 a session? Yeah, you know, and I said, dang, $65 a session. And I talked to my friend who's a social worker. She was like, I mean, if you had your LSW and, you know, you had your own private practice, how much would you charge a session? I I was like, probably $65. But I don't know why they don't take insurance. Probably some type of mandated, some loophole. But I think it's just this idea we don't trust people, you know, and what happens in our house, it need to stay in our house. That's just how I was raised. You better not go to school and tell a teacher anything, or it's time to get, you know, a beating or whatever, you know. So
That's a good point, because I've actually witnessed a parent discipline their daughter, and then next thing you know, she's in the system. She got to go to court. She got to pay this fine. And I know this family personally, and I know she was not being abused.
Right.
But because the teacher saw a mark, and because you have to get, when you do that background class, you have to say, okay, if you see anything suspicious, and I get it, because there are some kids who are being abused, and you don't want to let it slip through the crack.
Exactly.
Because when I work with young people, and I had a dance team, and one of the young ladies, she was always acting out, and I had to, like, you know, inside voice, okay, no, don't talk to them like that. And we kind of had that relationship. And then when I found out she had got arrested, and when she went to the therapy, they was like she was being molested. She was in, you know, because I was like, you know, cause she wasn't showering. So, you know, and I was like, you can't make fun. No, I don't care. I don't care what they smell like. We will not make fun or make people feel bad in this class. But I'm glad that you pointed out, because I never thought about that, that they were fearful that they may not go home.
Yeah, like, and I have, like, so in Tea Talk, we have this Vegas pledge. So pretty much it is, you know, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. So in the group, we have we call it Vegas, but it's a confidentiality pledge. It pretty much says what is said here stays here, but what is learned here leaves here. With the exception, if you tell me you're being hurt, abused, or you're going to hurt somebody else, because I'm a mandated reporter. And so they understand that. So if there is a situation where you want to say that, they are probably least likely to say that to me, because they know I have to report
aware.
Yeah.
Okay. So. And I have to do it because I work with kids. So when I was like, you're required. So if something happens to the kid and you knew about it, you can get prison sentence or fine. So we do have to be careful. But I never thought of it like that. That I like that what's learned here leaves here. I love it. So if someone showed up at Tea Talk, he's like, you know what, this lady is talking good. She's talking that good talk. And our young ladies need it, because now, you know, we're in this place where we're getting our natural looks, and some are comfortable, some are uncomfortable. Someone say, you know what, I'm going to go to this Tea Talk. What should they expect?
So I always say a place, if it's a young girl, teenage girl coming, a place where you could be yourself. If it's a tea party and you want to come, it's a place where you could be vulnerable. You could cry, because you could tell your story and nobody's judging you in the room, because 9 times out of 10, another woman then went through the same thing. So when I first said I wanted to create the tea parties, initially I was like, you know, tea parties, I'm a Delta, you know, so tea parties really like an AKA thing. So my lot sister was like, you could go to tea party. I was like, but it's going to be different, sis. It's going to have substance, you know. And so the biggest thing for me is creating a space where people could come and be who they want to be, who they are, not who they want to be. And, you know, people, what surprises me every year is that people come there, they tell their story, and then it's like all the tears coming out. And it's like nobody's judging you. And, you know, it's people that you may not know. And it's like, dang, she went through that. And it's like you got to take a step back, because you think you're going through something that's like you didn't even know she was going through, you know. So just a place where you could be vulnerable. I don't care who you are. And I tell people this all the time. One thing I'll say about the events that I create, I don't care if you got a PhD or a GED. You're welcome. You know, and I try to create a space where people feel comfortable and like, all right, well, you don't got your tee, you don't got your hat, that's okay. You can wear your baseball hat. You know, I'm not going to judge you. Even with the sneaker ball, it was mandatory semi-formal. You know, some guys came in there with just a button-ups or some khakis. Come on in. They was like, I thought you was going to turn me around, but no, you paid your money, you know, for the cause, and it's like you tried. That's your best semi-formal. So just something where everyone belongs.
Awesome. Listen, if you don't got the feather hat, wear your baseball cap and come to the tea. That's what we talk about. So there's a young lady that might be watching this that might not be feeling so encouraged, and her self-esteem may be a little low. What would be your words of encouragement to her?
So I feel like when it comes to self-esteem, with a lot of our young ladies, because of Instagram, Facebook, and comparison, I would say, one, don't compare yourself to nobody else, because you never know what's going on the inside. You know, and even as like a young adult, I'm almost 30, I kind of do it sometimes like, dang, she got the house, like I want that house, but don't even know what she had to take to get that. That would be number one. But number two, you have to believe in yourself. Like I tell people all the time, when I was planning the first tea party, I was in Dallas planning it. And so I said, I'm going to do this tea party. My friend was like, they so boring or whatever. But I was like, girl, I'm still having a tea party. And initially I had sat down with DJ Diddy. I sat down with DJ Diddy. And I'm like, you think this dope? But I was having like doubt, like, oh, I don't know if people going to come. But I tell people all the time, like, I believe in myself first. Once you start believing in yourself, like, I come in, like, my boyfriend always say, like, I cannot dance for nothing. But when I get on the dance floor, I think I'm Beyonce.
I'm by myself.
So, and it's all about just kind of building yourself up and just saying, you know what? I may not look like Beyonce, but if I go out there and I feel like Beyonce, oh, well. So just continue to believe in yourself and only surround yourself with people that build you up. Because had I had listened to my friend, and because she projected her fears onto me, had I had listened to her, we wouldn't even, I wouldn't have Tea Talk, it wouldn't even be here, And even prior to that, I told you I used to live in Dallas, and I was scared to move back home. I was so scared because, like, growing up, the stigma or the thing was to get out of Chester. You don't want to come back. Like, you done went all these different places. Like, you don't want to come back. And I said, it was March 31st. I remember I got, it was like a notice they sent out, if you going to come back. And I'm talking to my boyfriend. I'm like, babe, I think I'm about to quit. He's like, you don't even got a job. And I was like, so, and so I just said I don't accept. And I couldn't believe that I had did it because that was, like, not the norm for me. Like, I like to plan everything to the T. I got to have a job. And I said I'm not coming back. And I just moved. June 1st, I moved back home. The first tea party was June 12th. And I did most of the planning, all of the planning in Texas. And it was just because I knew it was a need for it because I had not seen anybody do it. And I believe, what makes you angry is an opportunity to create. So I was like, well, if nobody's doing this, let me create a lane so people, could come and get the, sip the tea.
Awesome. Look, she planned her tea to the tea. You heard that right. So you're going to get some good stuff. But I like what you said is that your friend basically was sharing her thoughts about it. It wasn't even personal.
Right.
And sometimes we get offended when somebody don't agree with us, but it's really just how would they do it, and they don't see themselves doing it, so they think that you can't do it. So thank you so much for sharing, y'all. I know that what you're doing is going to be awesome because so many people need it. They need that little boost. And I don't care how confident some people appear on the outside. Every now and then you need that boost of encouragement. Yep. How can people reach you?
So you can reach me. You can go to our website, www.ttalkpower.org. Subscribe to our newsletter so you know all the events, everything that we have happening. You can also reach me at qmiller@ttalkpower.org if you have any questions about Tea Talk. And I'm Qua Mills. I think I'm Mills Qua. Qua Mills or Mills Qua on Facebook. And then I have my Instagram, which is private. But if you want to freebie and I know you, I'll add you. Royal Myth 18.
All right, Royal. I hear that. Well, thank you so much for your time and congratulations on the next awesome Tea Talk.
Thank you.
All right, y'all, we're out.